So I figured now would be the most appropriate time to make this video, since we got 6:43 a.m. on the Eisenhower. And this goes out to everybody, and I know this is might be more fact-based and not opinion-based, but why is it that, why is Chicago, or why do people think or perceive or maybe have the idea that Chicago is like, why the crime rate is so high? Now, we know the crime rate the murder rate is higher than what is it? All of New York and all of LA County combined. It's higher than the combination of those two. And then just in numbers, and then the rate would be out through the sky because the population is smaller than both of those cities. And then compact that with it's not spread out. It's the west side, or the southwest side, the south side, and the near north side, like, Rogers Park area. North Lakefront area. What the hell's going on in the Loop? Nothing. Lincoln Park? I don't think so. The Gold Coast? No. Yeah. Logan Square? Meh. That's not the hardest of the hard areas. But we're smack in the middle of the country, right? We're flyover land, apparently. Yet, paradoxically, Chicago is also known as one of the friendliest cities. I mean, LA, those people, and this is generalizing, all right? New Yorkers are rude. Like, I don't know if it's all parts of New York, and certainly I have friends that are from New York and still live in New York. But I mean, I'd meet New Yorkers, like the working class New York, and they'd be a jerk to you until you tell them to, fuck off. Or, you get to the point where you're like, I'm gonna fight this person. And you yell back at them, and they're like, hey, this guy's alright. It's like, fuck off, man. Like, they try to act like hard asses, and then they back down as soon as you, look at all the barbed wire, as soon as you, and we know what's right behind that truck. That's Loretto, right? A hospital you never want to go to. If you get shot and you get brought to Loretto, you will die. You're gonna want to go to Rush or Northwestern. You do not want to go to Loretto. Yeah, people from Chicago will get that joke. See, that's typical Chicago housing style bungalow, which I love those houses, even though they're like one. It's like, well, it's difficult to describe if you've never been in them. But see, they're all made the same way with brick. But yeah. So, and then the people from LA seem kind of, I don't know, flaky or aloof, or think they're better or too cool. But you have Chicago people who are kind of just, I don't want to say salt of the earth people, because that's kind of a cheap thing. But yeah, we are kind of better people, more charitable, right? More like, I don't know, more friendly. Like, you could stop somebody on the street asking for directions. Oh yeah, hey, I'll help you out. And it's not necessarily the homeless people, although if you need directions somewhere and you got, you don't know where you're going, you got a few dollars on you, they will literally walk you to areas. But only do that in the downtown area so you don't get frickin' killed, right? That's probably a bad suggestion for out-of-towners. Just give me a call. But no, I remember when I would be like, the city's big, and where did I live? I lived in, like, the area where It was, you had all the working class people. You never call yourself poor, you know, when you're, you know, you'd say working class because you have jobs and this and that, and nobody considered people who were spent their whole life on welfare as working class. How the hell? Working is the main word in that class, you know. You know, just like upper and lower are the definitive words in upper and lower class. You know, blue collar people. But so that was on, and I'd shown that was, you know, Little Village area, which has changed a lot over time, but also changed very, very little over time. I think it's gotten less violent since the early 90s. The early 90s was pretty freaking extreme. It's funny that the murder rate and the crime rate has actually dropped in Chicago drastically, and we're still, like, you know, again, all these hardcore gang movies are always shot in Los Angeles and New York. And it's funny, like, the Chicago gang members knew not to stop wearing colors a long time ago. Like, maybe in the 90s you'd see somebody with, like, Pittsburgh Pirates hat on, you know, busted to one side because right or left defined people or folks, you know, or something 5-point star on it, or, you know, just something like that. Not decked out in red or decked out in blue. Like, I've seen footage of, like, the Bloods and the Crips. It's like, way to identify yourself to the police, jackass. But yeah, or you'd see, you know, somebody wearing a Kings jersey, or like, and then another guy wearing something that's black and gold, and that was in the 90s. And also the GDs also liked all the Georgetown thing, because there's a big dark blue G on a black hat, so they like that. You know, so something like that, and then just their hat busted one way, either, you know, tilted to the right or the left, and that would signify, that'd be enough. But yeah, and Chicago's, it's always had a reputation, you know, like Al Capone, right? Like, everybody, you know, out of all the mafia that has existed in, you know, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Chicago, known as the Outfit, it's always been like, oh, that's the thing. But I guess also, you know, New York and the Bronx, that's like considered mafia land. So what the hell is, I mean, is it the projects, do you think? The fact that we had the projects, like, again, I tell people this. People use the word projects in they call things that are not the projects. Look up, if you see the movie Candyman, right? And this was on the north side, this wasn't the south side. Cabrini Green, those were the projects. The Robert Taylor, which were right next to Chinatown, that's the projects. That's Chicago, right? Is it because of that? What is it? Is it the demographics? Is it that it's third black, third Hispanic, third white? And even that, those aren't even races, because you have different Hispanic communities. Certainly, you know, the Poles, you know, the Irish, the Italians, and then you got the other factions of, like, Ukrainians, Russians. Devon, you've got a stretch where there's, you know, Cambodians and Laotians that are fighting each other, you know, because gangs tend to run along ethnic lines. I don't know what. The Deuces were the only gang that were kind of like multiracial. So what do you guys think? What the hell makes Chicago so different? Is it that it's the most Democrat city in the world? In You know, is that it? Is it the politically how it's run? What's the why is it so different than the rest of the cities, and why does the crime rate so different, yet the people have the Midwestern, you know, and it's not just, oh, it's the white people. No, the Hispanics and black people too have the same kind of just nice, you know, unless, you know, to some degree you can judge a book by its cover, but even like, you know, some scuzzy white dude, you know, is a heroin addict, got, you know, tattoos around his collarbones on his hand, you can ask him something, and generally they're nicer to you than, you know, people from New York or LA, in my experience, right? Or even the South. People talk about the South being friendly. I've been to the South, I've stayed there for long periods of time. I didn't find it friendly at all. You know, not in comparison to, they were superficially friendly. Like they'd say, you know, they'd say hi to you, but that was it. It was almost like obligatory. It wasn't like, hey, how's it going? It didn't seem as laid back as up here. Alright, is it the extreme weather? Is it the fact that we get 100 degrees in the summertime and negative 20 in the wintertime? Alright, peace to you. And also may God save the Syrians, for real. And the Syriacs, the Maronites, the Melkites, the Antiochians, and the Yazidis as well.